Hi again, everyone, and welcome to another tournament edition of the North Dakota Varsity Sports Update. I'm Jody Norstedt, and how about the tradition of excellence that's been displayed so far this winter season as it pertains to our state champions? We started with boys and girls hockey. Grand Forks Central won its third consecutive title and finished undefeated. The Bismarck Blizzard won one for the thumb, 5 championships in a row. The Kennewick girls basketball team claimed a second title in 3 years. And just this past weekend, the Bismarck Century girls became the perfect Patriots with back-to-back titles. Reaching the top is difficult, but staying on top is even harder. These teams are getting it done, and now that challenge will be for the Jamestown boys basketball program after going from a 2-19 season 2 years ago to state champs over the weekend. Let's start there. Jacoby Lloyd's Blue Jays have been the talk of the state all winter after finishing the regular season undefeated. They clobbered Wahpeton in the quarterfinals, then squeaked out a victory over defending state champ Century to reach the final, where they'd meet Davies, the best team from the East all season and the highest scoring team in the state. The Blue Jays had plenty to be dancing about as one of the final 2 teams standing on championship night. Jamestown has some star power. NDSU commit Bowden Skunberg with the crossover in the lay-in. Then at 6'7" post, Mason Walters drawing a lot of attention but kicking out to Carson Lamp for the 3. Blue Jays up 29-10. Davies forced to call a timeout. The Eagles respond well. NDSU football commit Jaden Clable right in front of our camera, but that was his only made bucket of the game. The Blue Jays defended him well. Brayton Mochenbaker had to earn all 20 of his points. He drills the 3 with a defender in his face. Helped provide a spark, but Bart Manson's group still trailed 35-18 at the break. Start of the second half, Cameron Van Dam proving why he'll be one of the top players in the state next year. The junior goes for 14 points and 9 boards, but every punch Davies made was answered by 2 counter punches in the form of Skunberg and Walters. Pretty move from the WDA's leading scorer. Meanwhile, Mr. Walters, more like Mr. Reliable. Anytime the Blue Jays needed a bucket, he had it. His size gives him an advantage, and how he uses it is even more impressive. University of Jamestown got a steal with him. Listen to the stat line: 19 points, 15 rebounds, in 4 blocks. Davies got within 9 in the final 5 minutes, but Skunberg puts an end to that. The future Bison led the floor with 23 points. The Blue Jays clinch perfection and the program's first state title since 1993 with a 66-49 win. Walters is named the tournament MVP.
Whenever we needed to kill their run, we'd throw the ball into Mason, and he did a very nice job of getting a high percentage shot for us.
I'm just trying to take my guy one-on-one. If they send a double team, I'm going to kick out to my teams and hit doubling shots, and just trying to work for myself and then work for my teammates as well.
It's a mature group of kids that knew what we needed to do to be successful against Fargo Davies. That was a high-powered offense and kept them in the 40s, which is impressive, and it was because we slowed down the tempo, made them work defensively, and we got some crucial offensive rebounds that helped us kill the clock a little bit more, but we wanted to take the air out of the ball.
I mean, it's super special. It's a great feeling. I'm glad we're out on top, and I can't be more proud of my teammates and everyone here in the student section and all the fans.
The girls' championship featured the showdown many were hoping to see. The best in the East, Devils Lake, against the best in the West, Bismarck Century. The defending champs get to the hoop early. Chloe Markovic, who had 15 in the semis, gets to it and converts. Then it's senior Lily Keplin. To the Gatorade Player of the Year, Lauren Ware, the 6'5" junior, was just getting started. Devils Lake hunting for its first title in over 3 decades. Taylor Winju knocks down the deep 2. She had 11. Matejevic scored 23 in the semis to get the Firebirds to the championship. She scores a pair of her 11 here. The Patriots keep pushing in transition. Keplin gets the little floater to go, and then it's Ware again, telling Devils Lake they're just too small. Ware had 17 in the first half, but it was still just a 3-point Patriots lead at the break. Firebirds come out scorching hot in the second half. First, it's Vetch for 3, and then the senior shows off her versatility with the layup. What a treat she's been for Justin Klein's program. But back come the Patriots. Julia Fitterer gets the and 1 to fall while falling herself. This game had plenty of physicality to it. Century takes an 8-point lead, but Devils Lake answers with a 9-0 run. Jess Mertens from outside. That was big, and so was the Firebirds' defense. They forced 22 turnovers and turned them into 27 points. It's what they do best. Mertens led the Firebirds with 16, and they're up 53-52 with under 8 to play. Century leading by 1 now when Keplin steps up from deep. The future Fighting Hawk gets Century rolling again. She ends up pouring in 20 points. Ware finishes with a double-double, 26 and 15, and it's mission complete. The Patriots win it 69-61 to complete the undefeated season with another title.
It's awesome. Our program works so hard. Our coaches work as hard. All of our training staff, our strength coaches, stuff like that. We put so much work in the off season and in season, so it's really nice to see it pay off.
We felt that we had some good execution. We were going to be able to break it and get some layups. I was so proud of the way the girls executed there. You know, we had some things fall apart for us a little bit there, and we did have some turnovers, but they withstood the run and they got themselves composed, and we were able to build another nice lead after the big run they had to get ahead.
They do a really aggressive press, and I think we came out a little timid in the beginning, not playing them before. But at halftime, our coaches came in and said just to play confident, and that's what we did, and we were able to attack their pressures. We knew they're a pretty good offensive team, and they like to push the ball in transition, and I think we did a good job of stopping their transition play, so that was good.
Congrats to all the teams that earned a trip out to Bismarck. Of course, the Century boys edged Red River 59-58 for third, while West Fargo knocked off Legacy by 20 to claim fifth. Packer senior Luke Lennon was named Senior Athlete of the Year. On the girls' side, Legacy claimed third place over Cheyenne, and it was Mandan by 12 over Red River for fifth. Mandan's Megan Zander won both the Senior Athlete of the Year and Miss Basketball. Congrats to her. The future UND Fighting Hawk edged out Century's Lily Keplin, her future college teammate, by a razor-thin margin. Zander, who's a lock to be a three-time All-State first-team selection, averaged 19 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 assists in her final season with the Braves. Cheyenne's Maggie Manson, another UND signee, was also a finalist. All right, on to the B. The two-time defending champs from Hillsborough Central Valley were knocked out in the region championship by Thompson, so we're guaranteed a new state champ. In fact, out of the 8 teams heading to Minot this weekend, Beulah is the most recent champ, and that was back in 2012. So we'll have some fresh faces in the dance this year. Here's a look at the bracket. Thursday's quarterfinal round at the Minot State Dome opens with second-seeded Shiloh Christian taking on Beulah. Richland draws the Ranchers from Powers Lake, who will be making their first state trip in 80 years. Region 2 champ Thompson earns the top seed and will play Ellendale in Game 3 on Thursday, while last year's state runner-up Bishop Ryan and 2005 state champ New Rockford-Sheyenne tangle in the final game of the day. Let's take a closer look now at the teams in the matchups. Starting at the top with Shiloh Christian and Beulah. The Skyhawks walked through Region 5 tournament with ease, outscoring opponents by an average of 31 points per game, but they'll have to be prepared for much better competition at state. They have some good veterans that experienced the B last winter. Junior forward Jaden Mitchell has been playing at a high level the last few seasons, and he's a difficult matchup for teams with his combination of size, ball handling, and strength. He's averaging 19 points, 8 boards, and 4 assists per game this season. And speaking of matchup problems, not many have an answer for 6'9" giant Macaulay Young in the post. He's become a walking double-double, averaging 19 points and 13 rebounds. Those two alone give Shiloh a good chance to win on any given night, but against these top teams, they'll need contributions from the supporting cast like Matt Reap and Kanan Fagerlund. Brad Miller challenged his team in the regular season with a tough schedule, and they responded well, winning all but one game following Christmas. The only issue is that one loss came to the team they'll be sharing the floor with on Thursday afternoon, Beulah, a team that's had their number the last 3 years.
Yeah, we've pretty much all been playing together since about first or second grade, so we all definitely know each other very well. We all gel together, and we're really peaking as a unit right now.
They have great players. They got Morset and Larson, who are great players, but you got to give them credit, but they are really strong, but we got to be physical and outlast them, out-strengthen them, and just play our game. All that matters is tournament time when districts start and then lead up to regions and then state unless you're super region, but when that starts, that's all that matters.
I don't think I've ever beat them, so I definitely want to get my revenge on my last go around.
And we've been trying to beef up our schedule every year, and I think this year we probably had the toughest RPI rated schedule in the state, and we basically try to get as good of opponents as we can off the non-district stuff to help us prepare for this time of the year.
We'll see if Shiloh can get it done. The Miners earned their second consecutive trip to state by edging Trinity 48-46 in a thrilling Region 7 final. And when you think of Beulah, you think of defense. They are one of the top defensive teams in the state, holding opponents to just 44 points per game. Offensively, they're led by a trio of scorers, all averaging over 10 points per game. Freshman Trey Brandt, junior big man Jonah Larson, and senior Chad Morset, who leads them all at 17 points per contest. This tough-nosed team believes they have what it takes to grind out some wins in Minot.
Kids kind of hung their hat on that all year. You know, they've got a really good work ethic. They understand the importance of playing defense, and you know, and we've stressed that. That's kind of been a staple of our program, is we stress that because at this time of the year in regional tournaments, your defense is going to sustain you. Offense is going to go, you know, kind of back and forth, but defense is going to sustain you. And I think our kids they take a lot of pride in how they defend as well.
It means a lot. As a kid, you know, you dream of going to state, but you never really think it's going to happen. Then you get there and you just got to set in that this is going to be your last 3 games. You just got to give it your all. You may play intramural basketball in college, but you never get the real Class B state feeling again.
Your champs out of Region 1 for the first time since 2006 are the Richland Colts, and they'll play Powers Lake. The Colts went 21-2 this season, outscoring opponents by nearly 20 points per game. A big part of their success lays on the shoulders of their 3 all-region players, Carter Lingen, Gavin Ryland, and Cole Myers. Myers leads the team with just over 18 points per game, but Richland would say it's their defense that makes them the team to beat this weekend. Richland goes with a full court press nearly the full game. Their starting 5 averages around 10 steals per contest. Right now they're happy to be going to Minot and hope their hard work and pressure can lead them through the state tournament and possibly bring home the program's first state title.
Doesn't even feel real right now. I mean, I've wanted this whole season. We worked so hard for it. Feels good. We like to play full court press the whole game. We run in practice just so we can keep pushing the ball up the court.
There's going to be a lot of great players out there. I mean, it's going to be high speed. We're hoping our press can put some pressure on them and just stay confident.
You know, I worked them really hard this year. There's a lot of conditioning, and I got them to buy into it. And, you know, they really worked at it with minimal complaining, and, you know, it turns out dividends when you get down to it here.
If you're looking for Cinderella, look no further than Powers Lake. The Ranchers have never won a state title, and in case you missed my tweet earlier this week, they're making their first trip to state since the year March Madness was born. 1939 was the year that brought us the first ever NCAA basketball tournament. The 80-year drought ended in dramatic fashion, too. Powers Lake needed overtime to beat Mandaree for the region title, 74-72. Now, senior guard Kyle Van Berkom is the go-to guy on this team, and Aiden Nordloff does a lot of the dirty work in the post. Win or lose, the Ranchers are already a fantastic story, considering they started the year just 3-5. But that community is buzzing, and with it only being a little over an hour trip, you can expect the crowd to be full of Rancher fans. We'll see how they fare against Richland. Your top seed is the same team that was at the top of the rankings pretty much all season long. The Thompson Tommies, for the first time in school history, will be at the B. Thompson goes into state with just 1 loss on the year in what could have been seen as arguably the toughest region in the state. The Tommies are a deep unit with athletes all over the floor and size down low. Experienced guards, Marcus Hughes, Caden Schwabe, average over 10 points per game and can hurt you with their shooting and on the drive. Meanwhile, lurking in the post are a pair of 6'6" towers, Clay Odenbach and Hayden Overby. They do a nice job of rebounding, disrupting offenses, and scoring the ball. It's pretty evident that the Tommies can beat you in a variety of ways. Although this is their first trip to state in state basketball, this group is no stranger to big games, having won the football state championship earlier this year and being in the baseball title game 3 straight seasons.
For this group of guys, this is something new for us and for everyone at Thompson, so we've never had this feeling, and I can't put it into words right now, honestly.
It's something we've been working for since we were little kids, all of us, and to have setbacks in the past and finally get through and face the challenges this year and come out on top is just a great feeling.
This group of guys has played in state football championships and they've played in state baseball, but this is a different beast. And this crowd tonight was one of the best that I've ever seen in a Class B basketball game. And I think it'll help when we go out to Minot because there's going to be some good crowds. And we're going to enjoy this thing tonight. but we got to get ready to go back to work, and we're not done. We got 3 more left to play, and they'll get ready to roll, but we're going to enjoy this one.
The last time Ellendale played a state quarterfinal game in the Minot State Dome, this happened. Trailing Dickinson Trinity by 1, a wild sequence finished with Brennan Vance hitting a corner 3, a shot that ended up on ESPN SportsCenter. 2 years later, the Cardinals are back and hoping for some more magic. Let's just hope they didn't use all of their magic by reaching state. Get this, every team they beat in the Region 3 tournament, they had lost to earlier this season, including Region favorites Carrington in the championship game. So while their regular season wasn't pretty, Brian Vance's team is playing its best basketball right now. They're led by the high-scoring duo of Hunter Thorpe and Austin Molon, who together average just above 32 points per game. We'll see if Ellendale's luck in Minot has worn off yet.
We worked hard. That's what Coach Vance and Coach Ray were talking about in between the years. Work hard. It's the little things that matter in these big games. Stay composed and keep doing what we're doing now. Keep peaking.
We got to play hard. We got to turn down the turnovers, get rebounds, be a better team.
You know, enjoy the moment. Things don't always fall the way we had it. Before, it took us, I've been coaching here in Ellendale for 21 years, and, you know, it took us 19 years to get there. Now we're here in 2 years, so just enjoy the moment.
The nightcap features a Bishop Ryan team that is very familiar with the tournament, having finished as runner-up a year ago, and familiar with the venue, considering it's in their own backyard. Last year, Bishop Ryan forced overtime before eventually falling to Hillsborough Central Valley on a buzzer beater. This year, they have one mission, and that's hoisting the championship hardware on Saturday night. The Lions have a couple of superstars leading the way. Listen to this. Senior guards Ben Bull and Mason Hedberg each average more than 20 points, 8 rebounds, and shoot 35% from 3. It would be tough enough to defend one of those guys, let alone 2. But that's the challenge for New Rockford-Sheyenne on Thursday. Bishop Ryan may not have the size that it did in the post last year, but the clutch factor of Bull and Hedberg could be enough to push them back into the title game this year. Don't underestimate the Rockets, though. The same athletes that nearly helped the football team upset eventual state champ Thompson in the quarters are the same athletes that shine on the basketball court. Teddy Almaraz and Bo Belquist are both scoring over 14 points per game and have some great athleticism. Tyler Cook's team is the highest scoring team left standing in Class B, averaging 72 points per game, and they'll need every point they can get against Bishop Ryan. The Rockets are also looking for their first state title since 2005. So that's a look at the madness that'll take place in Minot. Enjoy the B. We'll be back next week to recap it all on the North Dakota Varsity Sports Update. We'll see you then.